Hi, everyone. Happy weekend. I hope all is well with you all, and I hope you're enjoying your weekend, right? So I'm just going to get through this short live. It's not going to be long. And if you miss it, you can catch the replay on the feed, or you can catch the videos uploaded on YouTube. So here are the list of COVID stuff, because we're still in the midst of COVID. So according to the WHO website, which is data.who.int, the number of cases within the last week has been 61,949, which is a decrease from the previous week. Now, in terms of cumulative cases, there are 774,834,251 reported cases of COVID-19 around the world. And that was of March 3rd. Now, in terms of our regions here in the USA, because we are still the number one, and we're not even 5% of the world's population. Within the last 7 days, there's no data available. But in terms of cumulative cases, as of March 3rd, we're still over 100 million reported cases of COVID-19. So the exact number is 103,436,829. Now, in terms of the cumulative death toll here in the United States, it's 1,180,025. So we're at the 1.2 million threshold. I won't be surprised if we get there anytime soon, but that's where we are in the USA. Now, in terms of the world, with the reported death toll, it's at 7,037,007. Now, vaccinations, in terms of us here at home, because I can say what's at home for the USA. %70 of Americans are vaccinated with a complete primary series of COVID-19 vaccines. Now, in terms of the percentage that have received a booster, only 36% of the U.S. population have received the COVID-19 booster. So I'm saying all of this to tell people that we're still in the midst of COVID. COVID has not been a major threat, but it's still here. Like, people are still succumbing to COVID because they either didn't take the vaccinations or have, laxed on the mask. And I'm letting people know, and I have said this on my live, if you have not watched me within last 4 years, I'm telling you right now, I said back in 2020, this will not go away. I said 2022. That's the only thing I was wrong about, was it's going to cease in 2022. No, it's still here. It's 2024. We've been dealing with this for now 4 years within this country, for 4 years now. So people need to take precautions. People need to understand, like, this thing is serious. It has long-term implications. That's why scientists and epidemiologists tell you to wear a mask and still get vaccinated when the vaccine is available. And the last time I checked, the vaccine is free. So people need to stop playing, because there are people that are still succumbing to COVID. We actually have a plan, thanks to the president and the vice president. With the American Rescue Plan, you can get the COVID shot anywhere from your local clinic up into like the local hospital, even at your primary care. And thank God my PCP told me that I was up to date with my COVID vaccines. I should take one during the time where there's the flu season, and you could take it at the same time. Some people want to take it at the same time, or take it separately from the flu shot and the COVID vaccine shot. I encourage you to take proper precautions and still wipe your stuff off when you get in the house, and still wash your hands when you get in the house. You should have been doing that before COVID anyway. So, on to now political stuff. I'm going to be talking about 2024 probably this whole entire year, because it's an important election. Just like every other election, this is important, because it's not just only our White House and the leader of our countries at stake, but our legislative branches and even some of our local elections and our local executive offices within the states are at risk. So we know the two. Before I even get into that, I want to briefly talk about the Georgia case for Donald Trump. So, I hate saying, Fulton County DA, Fannie Willis was, the judge awarded, I don't want to say award, I'm saying the wrong words. The judge basically said that Fannie Willis can continue on the investigation. She can either continue on the investigation and drop Mr. Wade or just don't pursue the case at all. So my decision for her is drop Wade and still pursue your case, because you worked hard up until this point to pursue the case. Don't ruin it because of that man. So that's my take on it. Now, coming back to the 2024 elections. So we know who are the two people, the two candidates, the two presumptive nominees of their party. Well, we know the president was called presumptive nominee before even the 8 o'clock hour. And of course, that bum had to wait until like 11 or 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to be the presumptive nominee, because he actually had challengers. So this is the makeup. I knew that there was going to be a rematch between President Biden and that occupant, the former occupant of the White House. Other people wanted other options. I get it. You wanted other options. I knew there was not going to be no other options, because if I was a president that had the American Rescue Plan that rescued the country from a raging pandemic that was affecting people, not just mentally and physically, but affecting the GDP and the GNP of the country, why the heck would I not run again? Because I want to be a transformational administration? No, I'm going to run on my successes. And that's what the president and the vice president is doing. So why would people even suggest for the president to step down? Because he's old? I mean, the same people that saying he's old had no problem back in the 80s to vote for a old man twice, who basically mess up the fabric of this country, who systemically divided this country, not by race, but by economics, and live in segregated neighborhoods. And we're still dealing with his bullshit, his policies, his trickle-down economics as of today. Those are the same people that's complaining about the president's age that voted for that man. So I'm going to need for these people with these fake outrage and their fake, oh my God, we have an old president, to shut the hell up, because you didn't have a problem voting for Ronald Wilson Reagan. You didn't have a problem with him. And keep in mind, he had health issues. Way before he left office, he had health issues. They kept that under wraps. And you know who was running the White House in his second term? His wife. That was 10 years younger than him. Because they're both gone. So that's my spiel. But I want to say this to all the folks out there. Those, the naysayers, the Bill Cristols of the world, the Bill Maher's of the world, the Maureen Dowds of the world, the Peggy Nonans of the world, and now the Catherine Parkers of the world. Let me just tell y'all something. President Biden is there to stay. He's not stepping down. He's not retiring. Nothing's going to happen to him. The man is going to run, and he's going to win, and he's going to probably serve his full ass term. And no, he's not dropping the vice president. I know y'all want that a unity ticket. Y'all want a Republican to serve with a Democrat. That's not going to happen, because if it was a Republican president that was the incumbent running for re-election, that Republican incumbent would not put a Democrat on their ticket as their running mate. So all of this outrage, all of this fever dreaming, of a unity ticket, get it out your goddamn heads. President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, they're both running for re-election, and they're going to win because they have delivered for the American people. Do they got more work to do? Of course there's more work to do. The job is not finished yet, but there's still more work that needs to be done. So I'm gonna need for all of those naysayers out there to cut the crap, get with the program, is either vote for Biden and Harris, vote for that bum, or not vote, and you still have that bum still destroying this country and its fabric and its institutions. You pick and choose your battle. And speaking of people, I'm almost done. Jesus Christ. There have people that have been coming for me, that have been coming for my life. And I want to start with Vernon Jones. I want to start with the loser of now the Republican Party, the former Democratic Georgia state representative who has vowed his loyalty to Donald Trump and became a Republican. This man had the audacity to quote tweet me after criticizing both Stephen Scott, whatever his name is, that Stephen guy, and Leonard Larry McKelvey. Now, I know Vernon is, trying to remain relevant again. And he thought coming after moi would gain him some relevancy. No. The man done effed around and found out. You don't know who you messing with. Like, not just I have an army behind me, but I'm not the one, sir. I'm not the one. So, Vernon Jones, this is what I want you to do. Mr. Jones, I need you to find a job. Because one, you're unemployed. This is what happens when you shuck and jive for somebody that's not going to return the favor. Because guess what? Your guy is in a whole heap of financial trouble. He's going to be broke by the end of this year, or maybe before the end of this year. This man has to pay so many people, it's not even funny. And aligning yourself with that man caused you to lose your job, run for the governorship, drop out of the governor's race, of the gubernatorial race, and then run for Congress and lost your primary. So what was the deal of aligning yourself with that kind of person? Maybe because y'all have the same things in common, both rape allegations, who knows? But Vernon, this is what I want you to do. Stop messing with me because we're not the same age. You play with people your age, get a job, and leave me the hell alone. And speaking of people leaving me the hell alone. So I criticized Joe Rogan's video like everybody else did because the video was circulating like everybody else had a reaction because he criticized DEI and saying that the Biden administration's employees are DEI hires. And they're bad DEI hires. I don't know what he meant about that. But it's very interesting that he had the goals to say it and I criticize it, and his lame ass supporters and bots included got mad because I told the truth. I said his white, and yes, I did say his white privilege ads because he is white privilege. I mean, how can you get away saying the N-word and being transphobic and homophobic and still have a platform on a major platform like Spotify to spew all your hatred and have someone on there like Christopher Rufo who basically bastardized critical race theory that's not even taught in any institutions but high profile law schools. I just want to say this to his supporters. Just because he have a black daughter, which that's his stepdaughter, because that's not his daughter. If you really want to know who the girl father is, it's from the guy from H-Town that tragically was killed in a car accident, I need y'all to stop reaching for straws. You can still be a racist and still have a black daughter or a black stepdaughter, like Joe Rogan. So all of y'all getting mad and getting your skis, don't get mad at a person that's never going to have your back, because Joe Rogan is taking your money. He's taking your money and saying stupid shit to y'all. He's not saying anything that's meaningful and that's going to encourage you to vote. No, the man don't give a damn. He's taking your money. Y'all need to get that through your fucking thick ass skulls. Like, I don't understand y'all. So leave me alone. And lastly, I have a message for, my fellow white counterparts. I'm not white, but you guys are in the same political party as moi. To white moderates and white liberals, this message is for y'all. I don't know why y'all have an issue all of a sudden with now Biden and Harris being the Democratic nominees. The American Rescue Plan was a big deal, or a big effing deal, as the president said, right? Restoring our institutions and having the reputation and the respect that this country lost during the last administration. I don't understand why y'all want somebody younger, like a Gavin Newsom, who don't have no foreign policy experience at all, who maybe be qualified for the presidency. Honestly, I don't think he's that qualified yet. He's still got a lot of work to do, but I digress. I don't get it. But this is what I want to tell y'all. Do y'all want a democracy again? Or do you want a dictatorship? Because obviously, I think y'all want a dictatorship. President Biden and Vice President Harris are the nominees. So stop fretting. Stop talking about it. Because on the other side, you got that bomb. And you got all those other knuckleheads that's running third party. So you pick your poison. Pick it. I know I was going to do something lastly, but I just want to address this particular journalist by the name of Catherine Parker, because this person is trending, and I know I'm a little late on certain things, but I just want to read the title because I found it very interesting that all of a sudden this person wants to pop up out of nowhere. Oh, excuse me. I got the name mixed up. So, I want to address a particular journalist by the name of Kathleen Parker. Kathleen is an opinion columnist from the Washington Post. So, this journalist came with a column yesterday, and it was about the vice president, and it was titled, if I could get the correct title, Kamala Harris could help her party and the country by stepping down. Oh no, I read the title wrong. For the country's sake, Vice President Harris should step aside. And here is some of the context of the article. Joe Biden promised to tap a woman as his vice president, along with Rep. James E. Clyburne's election-altering endorsement in South Carolina paved a way to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. His history-making, she has that in quotes, selection of the telegenetic Kamala D. Harris might prove to be his downfall 2024. And he has had enough fall downs to make voters worry. Harris' resume was impressive. A former California Attorney General and sitting U.S. Senator, she seemed to have been created by central casting, or was it artificial intelligence? You compare her to AI. As the first black woman and the first woman of Asian descent to be nominated for vice president, she was a doubleheader. But her evolving beliefs undercut the appeal. As a presidential candidate in 2020, she followed the Democratic playbook on issues except when she raised her hand in support of eliminating private health insurance. She also managed to imply that Biden was a racist and a segregationist, citing his long ago stance against student busing. And in her famous debate rebuke of Biden, she said she had been one of the little girls on those buses. Whatever reason, it seems that Harris' role was to be quiet, unless at least she embarrassed her boss with sometimes inane, rambling remarks and laugh that erupts from nowhere about nothing obvious to others. I do, however, relish the thought of her face-to-face with Vladimir Putin and suddenly crackling in a lynching moment during nuclear arms and discussions. The Kamala conundrum comes down to this. She was picked because she was a black woman. She was black and female and a combo to the job security. Now that she has become a burden to the Democratic ticket, a burden, Biden can't fire her. He can risk alienating his base. Full stop. The seriousness of this situation can't be overstated. Biden's diminishing falsities, notwithstanding his relevant successful State of the Union address and his increasingly physical frail, are concerning. A recent New York Times poll says 73% of registered voters believe that Biden is too old to be the nation's top executive. This includes 61% of those who voted for him in 2020. This is not a partisan suggestion. I said the same thing about Sarah Palin in 2008 when it became clear, as I wrote, and she's out of her league. No one would have blamed Palin for wanting to spend more time with her family, including a new baby, I said. I ended the column with these words: don't worry. Words, do it for your country. Harris could provide her own reasons for moving on. Perhaps she and Biden could cut a deal for her to become the next attorney general if he's reelected. Biden could tap someone else with the executive experience that could reassure voters that the next president, you know what? So, Kathleen, who the hell are you to tell somebody to step aside and do it for your country? Last time I checked, your resume is about writing articles. Compared that to the vice president's resume, which is a legislator, a lawmaker, and a lawyer, and now a vice president. Telling someone to step aside because you don't like their politics, it's stupid as hell. And then how are you going to tell somebody to cut a deal to become an attorney general? See, that's what's wrong with you, half of you so-called white liberals and white moderates. This is y'all problem. Y'all don't like the fact that there's black people in executive leadership, so you want them to be your attorney generals or your lawyers to clean up the mess that you guys basically create. Because you want to get technical, half of your people, half of your fellow white women, your 50-something% of y'all created this mess with this man doing all kinds of shit. Yes, Trump doing all kinds of shit. Your people. Like, who are you? But you know what? See, women like you are the reason why black women and brown women like me side-eye y'all when it comes to the booth and when it comes to your activism, because I believe your feminism and your activism is bullshit. Like that bullshit ass article. Comparing her to Sarah Palin, that's comparing apples to oranges. Or milk to like juice, if that's even a comparison. Because, first of all, Sarah Palin was just a damn governor. She didn't have any other experience besides being a governor. Vice President Kamala Harris has experience of being a district attorney, an attorney general, a senator, and now vice president. That's an impressive resume. So I want Kathleen. This is for you. And some people, y'all could disagree with me. Y'all could unfollow me, mute me, block me. Even the black ones out here agreeing with this woman. Kathleen, you need to get over it. The president and the vice president are running. She has not tanked his numbers. The problem is folks like you are obsessed with age and y'all obsessed with newness. Like, that's the reason why we had Donald Trump. And that's the reason why the country is still fucked up. Because it's your people, your group of people, which is supposed to be the largest voting bloc, which is technically the largest voting bloc for Republicans, not for Democrats, are the reason why we're in this mess. So, no, the vice president is not going to step down. So I need you to take your trash ass articles along with Peggy Nonins and Maureen Dowds to the garbage, shut the hell up, and get over it. If you don't want to vote for this ticket, then vote for Donald Trump. Or vote third party. I don't care, because your vote kind of like, for the Democratic Party, you're not the base of the Democratic Party. Sorry, not sorry. Yo, I'm sick of these white moderates and liberals, and it's not all of them, but it's the majority of them that are obsessed with age and just like stupid, dumb, and it's trash takes. Anyhow, I'm going to bed. I'm tired. So you guys have a good night. Peace out.